spoke a little bit about Baldur's Gate on my channel, didn't I? And I want to point out, as I mentioned, because a lot of people didn't listen to my videos, or I don't know, like they listened, but they heard what they want to hear. I don't have a problem with the game itself. What I do have a problem is with the rules and the standards, because if you have like literally the same game, Baldur's Gate, and you replace it with very beautiful and attractive anime characters, that game would get an adult-only rating and it would not be allowed on Steam. Like, unironically, imagine you are in charge of the PR team at the new Saran Kagura game, and you have to convince Sony to allow you on their platform, and you can use the example from Baldur's Gate where you can have a female halfling getting a blowjob from a dark elf, and you can say, well, that game is on your platform. Can my Saran Kagura game be on yours? You know? Try to find the arguments. Like, try to convince them. Try to convince the ESRB not to slap the adult-only rating on you. I dare you. I want to remind people that when GTA had that minigame with hot coffee where you're going and you're having sex with the... that got them in trouble with the ESRB, right? So, this is the thing that I have an issue with, is the double standard. And a lot of people are okay with it, like they're coping. It's like, well, it's a double standard. It's like, yeah, but like, aren't you outraged? Like, be vocal about, how do you expect change if you're not vocal about it? Like, if it actually bothers you, why don't you allow people to know that it bothers you? Because in a perfect world, there wouldn't be censorship, right? So that was my point. Apparently, some people understood that I don't like Baldur's Gate 3 as a game. But in reality, it's a really good game. I admit it. Okay, like, I'm not going to be disingenuous. Just because I don't like what the developers are saying, just because I don't like the direction of their politics or whatnot, if they make a good game, I admit that they have made a good game. So, you have this person, which is from a PR team, and I honestly think, like, they're actually doing PR for Baldur's Gate, because there's no other explanation, right? Like, there's no other reason you would say something like this. He's saying, please, please, please put on some thought into it before you proceed this as what AAA should be moving forward. 6 years and 400 people with insane funding due to the IP have given Baldur's Gate 3 a big boost. It's truly unrealistic to expect this on a regular basis. This is a lie. The developer came out and pointed out what funding, pointed out that Wizards of the Coast, the Grand Wizards of the Coast didn't fund them. They actually had to pay in order to get the IP. So no, the game doesn't necessarily have a lot of funding. This is why I think that Sean is actually trying to promote Baldur's Gate. Like, maybe, they hired him or something. I don't know. Like, there's no other reason you'd say something like this. IGN also said, while Baldur's Gate 3 is being widely celebrated by fans and developers alike, some are panicking that this could set new expectations from fans. Yes, like a horrible, expecting quality. Here's what's happening, okay? The entertainment industry in America has lost its soul. I don't know how else to put it, but this is the reality. They're not making art. They're making a product. They're not making a product for gamers. They're making a product for the consumer. Like, it's literally an industry that has been corporatized to such an extent where the focus is not entertainment. The focus is making money. Like, if you know anything about AAA gaming, you will know that they invest more effort and more time into having psychologists figure out how to milk all of the DLC and the microtransactions and to convince the player from coughing up more money after the initial purchase. They spend insane amounts of resources on marketing. They even hire shills. Like, I know this for a fact. There are AAA companies that hire people to go on forums and to shill for the game, to cause controversy, to divert topics that they don't like into topics that they like. Like, for example, this was very noticeable with Blizzard, where literally 1 week before the launch of Diablo 4, everyone was claiming that Blizzard is a horrible company. They would bring up all the grievances that they have against the company. And all of a sudden, Diablo 4 comes out, everyone is talking about the character editor. Everyone is, like, arguing, no, the character editor is perfect. I love these women. This is what makes me cool because I am from California. And the way that you create women in the Diablo 4 editor is the exact way that pleases me. And then you have other people, right? But, like, the idea is that the conversation is now moved away from Blizzard and their bad business practices into something else entirely. They hire people to do this, right? So this is where the companies are spending money. They're spending money on marketing. They're spending money on agitators. They're spending money on psychologists to figure out how to get players more addicted to the game, how to get players to part with their cash. And unfortunately, less and less funding is given to the actual game development. And you notice this, like, it's so blatant now. Like, most of the AAA games that came out this year, because there's not a lot of them, you know, you get like maybe 8 or 9 a year. Like, it's not a huge number. And when most of them, unfortunately, were broken at launch. Like you guys remember on Twitter that big paragraph with 8 pictures, like, showing gaming companies apologizing for the fact that their game doesn't work on launch. Right? Like, it used to be that at least the game was functional, but, you know, it had some bugs, so you had to wait for a patch. Now, like, not even that. Now the game just flat out doesn't work on some machines, so they have to apologize and then you have to wait for a patch. This is completely unacceptable. But for some reason, gamers put up with it because, like, there's nothing else. Now you have this game, Baldur's Gate 3, which comes out, and it's functional, it's working, and not only that, but it's a good game. So yeah, of course people will like it. And by the way, like, I also find it interesting that the press only talks about the sexuality. Like, did you notice that? They're not talking about the gameplay mechanics, the characters, or anything like that. No, it's like literally sex, like non-stop. Just non-stop. And they're praising it, right? Like, the same gaming journalists which were upheld by Camis Leotard. Now, what's interesting, and I can't show this on stream, but I can tell you about something that I found fascinating. There is a mod which allows you to give the female character D-sized breasts. Like, it's the same game. You just, like, have the ability to give them big mammary glands. Now, you have the option to have nudity, and I gotta say, you know, they look very good. All of a sudden, literally, all of Twitter is in an uproar over this mod. But it's the same fucking game. It's literally the same game. Why are you upset? Why are you fucking upset? It's like what you liked. It's literally what you liked. It's just like, there's a breast slider now. There's another mod which also makes the female character a little bit more curvaceous. And the same people are outraged. And I'm like, why are you outraged? It's not a naked woman, you bigot. It's body type 1. This is body type 1. It's not, I'm sorry, it's not a naked woman. You're allowed to show men that have chest. Right, like naked chest, it's allowed, isn't it? Like men can pose themselves without a shirt. It's not a violation of the TOS. It's not a man either. It's a body type 1. I'm sorry, I looked at the TOS on all the social media platforms. I'm not going to risk it on YouTube though, but I looked it up, and it says that only women aren't allowed to show their chest. But that's not a woman. It's a body type 1. So why the fuck are you so angry? Shut the fuck up, you bigot. Yeah, no, I just found it funny. You know, like the thing with Baldur's Gate, it amuses me. That's why. It's hilarious. And these people do not like to be ridiculed and mocked, which is what I want to do. Like, the moment I find out that one of these gentlemen do not like something, I do it. I go out of my way to do it. Because they do the same to me. Like, they infest every single hobby I have, these tourists. Come to your hobbies, and I'll look at what they do. Right? So I'm like, okay, fine. If that's the way... If it's something that's within the term of service and I'm not breaking any rules and I can annoy you, I will go out of my way to annoy you. You know, the more people like me, the better the internet, honestly. Because if you annoy them, they don't annoy other people. So it's kind of like tanking, you know, like you're taking the aggro from them. Let me know what you guys think, though, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.